topic on our hair, so our hair panel is here to help take your questions. I'm starting with you, Bill. So Maria says, I'm always in a rush and sometimes leave home with wet hair. What can I do to dry it faster when it's so cold outside?
Well, it's difficult when you're in a hurry, and if you work too quickly with your hair when it's wet to dry, you ruin it, whether it's curly hair or straight hair. I do have a couple of little tips. One thing, keep it wrapped in a towel or really get one of those high concentrated terry towels that really can get the water out of your hair. But I've got a really wonderful little trick. Bahar, would you come be a lovely model for me? Thank you. I do this all the time and recommend it to people. These are little clips that you can get basically anywhere, from a beauty supply or a shop or a drug mart.
Yeah.
And you use them sideways like this. And I want you, when your hair's wet, put it into place, put a little product in, use the clip sideways and put it at your root like that.
Okay.
And what's happening, you see, is now Bahar's roots are being lifted up.
Yeah.
And Bahar actually has naturally curly hair. So this is fabulous on naturally curly hair. Then all she needs to do is take her blow dryer and diffuser and start to work some of the wetness out of her hair. The heat from your scalp dries your roots in 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. So you can go out with a dry scalp and wet ends and your hair will be fine.
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
so this is just
That's going to speed it up.
It speeds it up. The clips get hot. They dry your roots. Your roots are dried up. They'll stay up the whole day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's a great little trick.
It's 2 in 1, really.
It's 2 in 1.
Thank you, Mother Bahar.
Excellent as
Beautiful. Okay, Philippe, I've got one for you. This is Stella. She tweeted this question. Why is my hair frizzy in the winter? I wash and condition it every other day. What's going on?
Well, when in the wintertime, we have all these heating elements, the furnaces, the dry air outside, and what happens is we shouldn't be washing our hair as much in the winter. We should maybe skip to a second or third day.
Yes.
Also with the microfiber towels that we're using for our hair that are absorbing so much moisture out of our hair, you don't want to keep it in for too long. A lot of people that do the wraps, you notice that sometimes, especially in the winter, is they'll wrap their hair, keep it in too long, they'll get oily roots and dry ends.
You know, I just said keep it in longer, right?
I know.
Keep it in longer.
I know.
But at the same time, you just want to be careful of that because you trap in all that heat, and for people that tend to be a little more oily, they'll have oily roots and those microfiber towels, they really absorb a lot of moisture.
Yeah.
And they
use both advice, though. It depends on, are you in a rush?
Exactly.
Well, then you sacrifice it. If you're not in a rush, then you do what Philippe says, right?
And like, I even suffer from, flaky scalp and dry scalp. So it doesn't, so you just have to adjust with the seasons.
Yes.
And, with what your hair is doing. And you consult with your stylist.
Fair. Yeah, fair. It all works. Okay, Palma, this is Karen on Facebook. What is up with my dry, itchy scalp in the winter? I don't have dandruff any other time of the year. So like Philippe just said, like you might be having extreme dryness because of the weather. Is that the answer? Is that what's happening?
That's the answer. That's exactly the case. It's not snowing on your head in the middle of the day inside the room.
Right.
So just know you're not alone.
Yes.
A lot of people are going through this with the weather. You're coming in from a hot room and then you're going outside. So just as we layer our bodies with clothes, we have to remember that as well with our scalp and our hair. You can do like coconut treatments on your scalp. And that really does help a lot. And in point with what they're saying with the terry cloth, maybe just leave it in for a little bit. Not too long or too short.
Somewhere in between, right?
Somewhere in between.
There's also oily dandruff, though, that people get in the winter, too, right? Which is a different beast altogether.
Yes. And that's a buildup of yeast in the system. So if you see yellow flakes and it's really itchy, ask somebody, your stylist, to look at your scalp and then consult with a doctor.
Okay. Is that a special shampoo you would use, or it's more than that?
Yeah, there are shampoos specifically for oily dandruff. It looks a little bit like a cradle cap.
Yes,
If you have children, you ever see that. And that we want to get rid of right away.
Got it. Great advice, guys. Thank you for